JasonWhiskyWise, myself, Jason, today bringing you a whiskey review into the Glenmorangie Signet. And this is one of those expressions which I've been waiting to cover, and lo and behold, I now have a bottle of the thing. So, if you have missed any of my videos, in the last video I've done the Glenmorangie 18, I'll leave it linked somewhere in the top corner over here, so you can go and check it out. But today we're going to focus in on the Signet. Now I poured myself a wee little bit from this Drinks by the Dram sample, which I bought way back in my unboxing videos. And then actually what inspired this sort of Glenmorangie series is one of my friends got me this bottle to celebrate my 1,000 subscribers. And I thought it'd be kind of cool, just let me cover the whole Glenmorangie range. So, Glenmorangie Signet, this is a no-age statement expression from Glenmorangie. It's one of their sort of premium in the top of the range, quite high up there, and it's above the 18, but just under the 25-year-old. In terms of the ABV on this one, it's 46% ABV, and they actually don't specify the cask selection. But what makes this very unusual is actually that they use something called chocolate malt, and that's where they sort of toast the barley to a character where it gives it that almost chocolatey essence about it. And it's something very unusual that not many distilleries utilize. So, in terms of the overall distillery, is the Glenmorangie Distillery. They're owned by the parent company LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, and they are located in the Highlands of Scotland, just a bit north of Inverness. Now, if you're actually looking at the actual price on that bottle, it's around about £130. And I asked my friend and he told me, honestly, it was £120, which he paid for this. So I was kind of happy. I said to him, even he got a good deal on this bottle. So let me know the prices as well. And if any of you guys have tried Glenmorangie Signet, leave it down below in the comment section. I'll be very interested to hear if you guys have tried it and what you thought of it. Now, the overall exclusivity on this one, it's not exclusive. However, I did get a chance during the special, I think it was a private edition launch, to speak to one of the malt masters at Glenmorangie. And he told me that yearly it actually differs in batches. And that's because they include a whiskey that it's around about 30 to 35 years in age. So this actually contains whiskey that could be even 35 years old in it, as it is a combination of different whiskies in the Glenmorangie Distillery, which is just mind-blowing for the price at 120. But getting away from that one, in terms of caramel colouring, no caramel colouring is added to this. This is all natural colour and is non-chill filtered. So just the idea of a 35-year-old whiskey at £100 is just, it's incredible. And it's also their own bottling. It's not an independent bottling. So we're going to have to assess the colour on this one. I'll hold it up to the screen. Let me know what you guys think at home. Mr. Bananas, what do you think? I'm going to go with this. This is a nice, dark, deep amber. It actually reminds me of the sunset when I was in Los Angeles. So it's got a really nice, dark character to it. Let's get into nosing the whiskey. Into the nose. So begin on the nose of the Glenmorangie Signet. This one starts out quite chocolatey, and that chocolate malt is definitely coming through on this one. The 46%, not really so powerful. It feels a bit more softer. But I'm getting like what reminds me of a chocolate eclair with a slight nutty character behind it. That sort of vanilla cream in the mix of this chocolate eclair, and a lot of that vanilla cream in there. There is a little bit of dark chocolate. It's almost rolling and infused with layers of almost like an orange peel. You get citrus, dark chocolate. They seem to be wrapping themselves around these different layers, and as you work through that, it sort of reminds me of a chocolate. Maybe not a chocolate, more like a praline. Yeah, a chocolate praline. But it's like coffee aspect. It's like when you smell a freshly brewed coffee. Like that. It's almost like a chocolate mocha coffee aroma on the nose. And I'm getting a bit of hazelnuts, freshly roasted hazelnuts, which I just absolutely love. And a slight oily walnut character on the end. So much of really nice, dark and chocolatey characters on this one. Let's get into the palate, slanger. So now into the palate for the Glenmorangie Signet. The overall palate arrival is quite rich, full, it's silky, it's creamy, it's mouth coating. It's got all these perfect qualities which you want in a texture of a whiskey. The overall flavour profile though does start a little bit almost nutty. You get like what reminds me of sort of roasted hazelnuts, these almonds. Normally you get those in the winter sometimes, roasted chestnuts. A bit of these characters, and there's a soft spice that just works its way through it, which is like a nutmeg. As you go behind that one, you get this layer of a slight dark chocolate, and that orange is back now. This is like a ripe rich Seville orange coming through, bursting on the palate, releasing its flavors, and then you work your way into a slight bitter character. Just when you thought the dark chocolate was gone, you're getting now this almost like a coffee. I was thinking an Americano coffee, maybe an espresso. It's a bit more richer, a bit more that focuses itself on the center and the back of the palate, and it's almost like a slight spiced oak is there as well, but more of this sort of chocolate now is coming back, coating the palate, working its way around, and it's almost like a sweeter now character that's developed further from it. Almost like treacle, and it's quite silky. It's even giving me that little bit of a character of like a chocolate croissant, like a fresh pastry. Like if you go to your bakery and you get a chocolate croissant, which is chocolate filled in the croissant, and it's sprinkled with a little bit of chocolate sprinkles on the top, and it's warm, so it's just melting together, and the flavors of the pastry and the chocolate, oh, and the warm character just goes hand in hand, and just beautiful. It's just, this is some good stuff. Never, like, if you have a chocolate croissant, you don't really want it to be cold. So it's kind of like a nice warm chocolate croissant. The flavors are just really playing themselves. A bit of pastry, the chocolate, all these different sort of spices and nutty characters, and the dark chocolate and the espresso. Wow. Let's get into the finish before I carry on talking about bakery. So into the finish. So into the finish now for the Glenmorangie Signet. The overall flavor profile in the finish, the texture and the finish is actually almost linked together. It's quite a long, lengthy finish. It's holding itself there quite well. You're getting those characters coming through of the dark chocolate, but it's like a Terry's chocolate orange, but they've experimented by using dark chocolate instead of milk chocolate. So it's like an orange chocolate character. I've been finding that from the nose all the way into the palate and even into the finish, and it really holds itself there. It's sort of combined with this little soft spice of nutmeg. That coffee character is still there, and I'm seeing it. It's not letting go, and I think this is what's carrying the finish on further. And it's got a little bit of even dark dried fruits coming in. A little bit of raisins, plums, and a bit of prunes. Not really any figs or anything like that. But it's got a very long finish. I thought it was going to dry out like the 18 did, but this one's carrying itself on. And I think it's that combination of that coffee character really staying there on the palate. But I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to come to my rating. So I'll be just 2 seconds. So now to get into my rating for this whiskey, I had to enjoy that last sip because it would be absolutely horrible for me to just miss out on it and just leave it. But I'm going to give my rating as a 93. I don't know if that can be seen properly. I'm giving this a 93 out of 100. Reason behind that, for 120 pounds, I've been told it's 90 pounds at the minute, 95 pounds travel retail. But the overall character of this whiskey, it offers complexity, depth, silkiness. It's rich, it's full of flavor, lots of coffee and dark chocolate and citrus, but all these flavors just work in harmony with one another. And if it does contain 35-year-old whiskey or 30-year-old whiskey, even for that matter of fact, for that £100 price tag, you can't go wrong. At the same time, that chocolate malt, which is very unusual, and just the way it works so well, I would highly recommend. If you do like a sort of very nice, rich character to your whiskey, the Signet would be something I highly suggest to look into for a future purchase. Just value for money, I'd say yes. In terms of complexity, depth, what it offers on the palate, and even from the nose all the way to the finish, it remains consistent. It doesn't go through highs and lows. It just remains consistent, and you get these flavors. And the longer you sit with it, the more you'll notice a bit more of this citrus coming through, and then a little bit of that dark chocolate working its way through to a coffee character. It's just really great whiskey. So 93 out of 100 is going to be my final score. I think Mr. Bananas agrees as well because he's gone rather quiet as usual. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you have enjoyed, by all means, feel free to drop it a thumbs up as always, as it does help out the channel. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, which I'll leave somewhere over here. And be sure to check out some of the other videos I'll leave on the screen. But on that note, this has been me, Jason WhiskyWise. If you have enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you all for the next video. Slàinte.